In CI News this week, support for assisted suicide proposals at both Westminster and Holyrood shrinks amid concerns at the lack of safeguards. Hundreds of academics press the government to introduce vital free speech protections. And a church assisted by the Christian Institute defends its right to book a stand at a Freshers' Fayre after being banned. Hello and welcome to CI News on the 23rd of January. I'm Joanna Tim. Supporters of Kim Leadbeater's assisted suicide bill are increasingly fearful the legislation may fail due to lack of time. If the terminally ill adults end-of-life bill is not voted on by the end of the parliamentary session in May, it cannot become law. While government whips recently extended time on the length of the debates, they have refused to allot the bill any days usually reserved for government business. The Institute's Deputy Director Simon Calvert said there is more work to be done to ensure the bill does not become law.
Well, there's a long, hard slog ahead in the House of Lords if we are going to defeat the Leadbeater assisted suicide bill. And much more important than whether or not the bill just runs out of time is whether or not we win the argument. Whether we win the argument that this is a bad bill, badly drafted, that will expose vulnerable people to harm, and whether we win the broader argument that the principle of assisted suicide is wrong. That's what's at stake, and we should be grateful that there are so many peers prepared to write and table amendments and speak to and debate those amendments. And the fact is, the more the House of Lords scrutinises this bill, the more obvious it is to everybody that it's a bad idea.
At Holyrood, Liam MacArthur's assisted suicide bill also faced setbacks. Cabinet Secretary for Health and Social Care Neil Gray informed MSPs that conscience provisions must be removed from the proposals, as the devolved Parliament does not have power to legislate on the issue. The withdrawal of this key provision is likely to stir opposition to the bill from those who believe medics should not be forced to participate in assisted suicides if they object. Audrey Nicholl MSP, the convener of Holyrood's Criminal Justice Committee, also recently announced her withdrawal of support for MacArthur's bill. The former police officer explained that her experience with the most vulnerable in society convinced her that changing the law would result in some people being coerced into an assisted suicide. Several MSPs have stated that they only voted for the bill at stage 2 to allow for further debate. Now, with Nicholl's withdrawal of support, only 6 more need to follow suit for the bill to fall at the next vote. Hundreds of academics have urged the Education Secretary to stop delaying protections for free speech on campus. A letter signed by 370 academics and public figures, including 3 Nobel laureates and comedian Sir Stephen Fry, urged Bridget Phillipson to stop considering and start acting, following over a year's delay in establishing a promise complaint scheme. One of the letter's organisers, Maths Professor Abhishek Saha, said the current system does not do what is needed to protect free speech, and urged Phillipson to make this an urgent priority to stop academics being hung out to dry. Shadow Education Secretary Laura Trott urged the government to stop dragging its feet, adding, "Free speech is a cornerstone of our universities. The Education Secretary must act rather than sit back and watch censorship take hold." A spokesman from the Department for Education said it would introduce a scheme when parliamentary time allows. A church that was banned from a university's Freshers event has successfully defended its right to book a stall there following an intervention from the Christian Institute. Grace Church Greenwich had been attempting to reserve a place at Goldsmiths University's Freshers' Fair, but were told by Native, the external company responsible for the booking process, that due to a recent update in our company policy, we are no longer able to facilitate bookings for religious groups at these events. When Minister Andrew Sachs responded that the policy could be unlawful, the company maintained its position, saying that religiously affiliated groups working on secular initiatives would be permitted, but not ones which explicitly promote specific religious teachings. The church reached out to the Christian Institute, which explained to Native that its actions constituted direct discrimination on grounds of religion or belief, contrary to sections 13 and 29 of the Equality Act 2010. The company has now suspended the policy, and Grace Church is in the process of booking its place at this year's Freshers' Fair. Andrew Satch thanked the Institute for its excellent work and encouraged churches to stand up for the religious freedoms that we currently enjoy under UK law if you find yourselves denied a platform on similar grounds. And he gave praise to God for keeping the door open for the message of the gospel. To explore these stories and much more, visit our website christian.org.uk and be sure to subscribe and follow us across our social media channels. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed weekend.